Welcome back to the local edition, news and information keeping you connected in the Catskills, Northeast Pennsylvania. I'm your host, Jason Dole, and it was a beautiful afternoon in our listening area today. I hope you got out to enjoy it. Over in Liberty, dozens of folks of all ages were gathered at Creekside Park just off of Main Street, digging in the ground because they were planting daffodils that will come up in the spring. It's all part of the Daffodil Project, which is being organized locally by Hope Blecher. To learn more about the project, their second community planting, it's happening tomorrow afternoon, and the Dove-Daffodil-Dash that's happening Sunday. I spoke to Hope last week. All right, well, Hope, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for your interest in what we're doing.
Before we talk about the details of what you're doing locally, I think it'll help for people to have the concept behind this because your activities this week are part of what's known as the Worldwide Daffodil Project. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. And the mission of the Worldwide Daffodil Project is to plant 1.5 million yellow daffodils to commemorate the children who perished in the Holocaust and increase awareness of subsequent acts against humanity.
So the whole thing is about planting daffodils. And then the daffodils are representing those who were lost?
Yes, so they specifically chose the yellow daffodil as the symbol because it has 6 petals, and the star that the people who are identified as Jewish had to wear when they were in the concentration camps was also yellow and had 6 points. So that is why they chose that as their symbol for the Worldwide Daffodil Project.
Great. Let's talk about the local connection here. With the Dove-Daffodil-Dash, what are you trying to do, and when's it happening?
We are trying to raise awareness of the amount of people who perished in the Holocaust. For this project, it's specifically the children, and they could have been from various marginalized communities. So that's a term that we use, today, marginalized communities. But as someone said, that could have been their child who was born with, such and such a disease or a deformity, or that could have been someone who, at a young age was mentally unwell. So there's so much that it connects to present day that we thought that this was appropriate for the community to be involved in. And so we are going to be planting 250 yellow daffodils at Creekside Park in Liberty on Friday the 13th. So we are hoping it'll be a lucky day for us and not the unlucky Friday the 13th.
Right.
And also at that time, we will have arts materials available at Creekside Park so that people can express themselves with our theme of hope, sanctuary, compassion, and community, because those 4 words also relate to the current community where people live, work, and reside. So we went with those 4 words, and we have that with the connection to the Worldwide Daffodil Project. So on Friday, people can plant and do some art, and those canvases will be collected and then put on display in 2024 at the Liberty Museum and Art Center.
Well, just to remind people again what the timing is, if they want to come out, just remind them where and when again.
So it is 3 o'clock at Creekside Park. It's the park behind the stage off of Main Street, catty corner to LaPointe Park in Liberty. And we will be there from 3 to 5.
And that's not far from the elementary school. It seems like,
correct.
Yeah, as much as this project is standing as a living memorial to the children that were killed in the Holocaust, you also want to involve contemporary young people in these projects.
100%. We anticipate students coming from the local schools, and the Liberty Public Library has a display of different books and movies and materials also related to our 4-word theme and to the Holocaust.
So for Sunday now, what's the form of that? That's going to be a little bit different. It's a different place, right?
Yes. Sunday at noon, we are meeting at Arthur's Acres Animal Sanctuary, 89 Aaron's Road in Parksville. And we will be gathering at noon and then taking off, so to speak, at 12:30 to walk from Arthur's Acres Animal Sanctuary to Creekside Park. So it's about 2.3 miles. We'll have bottles of water donated by the Sullivan Catskills Visitors Association, and people will be receiving yellow bandanas with an emblem on them. And we chose that location because they recently participated in the Dove project, and their Dove is dedicated to peace, love, and pigs and the rescue work that they do there. And also, as Todd Friedman, the founder of Arthur's Acres, said, they rescue animals at their sanctuary that others considered unfit or runts of the litter or not deemed worthy of living. And he, in conversations with him, therefore, that was a fitting place to begin our dash. And we will conclude it where we will have planted the bulbs on Friday.
I get it now. It's all coming together. This is a Dove-Daffodil-Dash because you're dashing from that dove to where you planted the daffodils.
Exactly. And we hope it's the first of others that can happen. We have Rose Barnett of Arrowhead Ranch and Horse Rescue is looking to be a spot to have the Daffodil Garden in 2024. And then we have Solomon Service Center is interested in hosting in 2025. So it looks like we have interest and can sustain this meaningful project for our community. And really, as you said, it is symbolic and embracing the people who currently live in our community.
Now, this is just part of the story, though, because you're putting the daffodils in the ground now. The other part of this story is when the daffodils spring up in the springtime and people get to see them. Are you doing anything with this project on that end once the daffodils are up, or do people just appreciate, how great they look and what they represent?
So we do hope that people will appreciate them and that the blossoms signify that life has continued and that the current people who are viewing the daffodils are like the gardeners of the history and continue, sharing the message. The other part is we will be having an exhibit at the Liberty Museum and Art Center in spring 2024, where the canvases that people create, and we have students who will be doing photos and working on art projects through the arts department and the teachers in Liberty, and those will be compiled into what we're calling a community tapestry, and that will be on display at the Liberty Museum and Arts Center, as well as we recognize the age of some of our residents in Sullivan County who are survivors of the Holocaust, and we do have 2 people who will be having a meet and greet so that they will truly be sharing their personal stories with the community.
Hope, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and there are so many Liberty connections that we can make with this project, as well as the greater Sullivan County, and there will be more daffodils planted in Monticello before the end of the month, and we look forward to the community, unity, and sense of friendships that can evolve from a project like this.
Now, of course, since I spoke to Hope last week, the terrorist attacks in Israel occurred, followed by the resumption of war in Gaza. So I went to Creekside Park this afternoon to see how they were doing and also to ask Hope if these events have impacted her efforts with the Daffodil Project.
So definitely the timing is connected to what has happened in recent events. That was not planned at all. And that is a sad coincidence as far as we're concerned. The symbolism and the layer of symbolism for this project remains that innocent people have lost their lives and they no longer have a voice. And we have so many people here who find that topic worth coming out today and doing it. And we have children and people of all ages. So we are again here commemorating people whose lives have been lost.
And I was just wondering for the listener, if you could just describe what we're seeing here, from what people are doing down here to what the folks are doing over here. Just give us a quick rundown.
So we have parents and community members and students side by side digging and getting their hands in the dirt. They are digging the trench so that we can plant the daffodil bulbs, yellow daffodil bulbs. Point up, we have people here from Sullivan 180 who are helping, teaching us how to plant, and from the Liberty Garden Club, all the way down the path at Creekside Park to community members with canvas and paints and markers expressing hope, sanctuary, community, and compassion.
They're actually writing peace down in different languages?
So we have peace in different languages, we have love in different languages, and they are expressing, kids have made rainbows and smiles, and the adults are taking canvases and sitting next to each other, and it's really beautiful to see people who did not know each other 5 minutes ago talking and working on something like this together.
And what's going to happen with that artwork again?
So the artwork is going to be displayed at the Liberty Museum and Arts Center in May-June 2024.
And that'll be about the time that the daffodils are coming up?
Yes, so we timed it perfectly. We hope it's also in connection with Yom HaShoah, which is Holocaust Remembrance Day. So that is why we are picking that time span.
Well, Hope, I want to thank you for the work that you're doing here today. I want to thank you again for taking the time to talk to us about this and contextualize it a bit.
My pleasure, and I hope that everybody who is listening will come and participate either when the next Daffodil Garden project is next September, October 2024, and come check out the exhibit at the museum.
And you'll be doing this here again on Friday afternoon, right, at 3. And then, of course, the Dove-Daffodil-Dash is Sunday.
Yes, Sunday at noon, we are meeting at Arthur's Acres Animal Sanctuary. And then at 12:30, we will take our first steps and walk from Parksville into Liberty.
Okay, great. Well, thanks again.
My pleasure.
Folks will be in Creekside Park again tomorrow afternoon starting at 3, planting daffodils and working on art projects. The community is invited to join. More information about the Dove-Daffodil-Dash and the daffodil plantings on the Town of Liberty, New York Facebook page.